In a touching story from a humble neighborhood in Guadalajara, Dona Maria, a 68-year-old woman, runs a small vegetable stand with unwavering dedication. Despite her sacrifices, her 18-year-old granddaughter, Camila, is determined to achieve a better future and secure a medical scholarship. As Camila excels in her studies, their bond is tested by the challenges of college life and changing priorities. One day, Camila, eager to embrace her new world, neglects her grandmother's vegetable stand. This decision leads to a devastating robbery. As Maria discovers the chaos and learns of Camila's cold reaction, she is overwhelmed with heartbreak and betrayal. The story beautifully captures the highs of hope and dreams alongside the profound pain of disillusionment and loss. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell to avoid missing any videos. On a day bathed in the golden hues of the late afternoon sun, the vibrant neighborhood of Guadalajara buzzed with a palpable sense of anticipation. The streets, alive with the chatter of excited voices and the gentle rustle of summer leaves, seemed to hold their breath for the momentous occasion unfolding. Amid this bustling scene, one figure stood out, Dona Maria, a venerable woman of 68, known and beloved for her humble vegetable stand. Her age was etched into the lines of her weathered face, and her bare feet, calloused by years of labor, seemed to connect her to the very soul of the earth. Her presence was met with a mix of curiosity and disdain from those who noticed her, their glances heavy with judgment. Yet, despite the scornful looks that her bare feet attracted, Maria's heart was swathed in an unwavering pride and deep-seated love for her family. Her granddaughter, Camila, was the light of her life, and Maria's spirit was unshakable even in the face of disapproval. Camila, standing nearby, was about to step into the spotlight of her destiny. At 18, she was on the cusp of a future filled with promise and uncertainty, her heart set on seizing the opportunity offered by a prestigious medical scholarship. With a heart full of hope and a hint of apprehension, Camila took the microphone at the graduation ceremony. Her hands trembled slightly, but her voice, steady and imbued with emotional depth, resonated with a profound sincerity that captivated everyone present. Her words flowed like a river of raw, heartfelt emotion, as she spoke about the sacrifices her grandmother had made and the boundless support she had received. The audience, moved by Camila's eloquence and the palpable love she expressed, was soon overcome with tears, their initial judgments dissolving in the face of such genuine emotion. In the modest, bustling neighborhood of Guadalajara, Maria's vegetable stand was more than just a place of business. It was a haven of familial devotion and shared history. The stand, adorned with an array of fresh produce, was a testament to Maria's tireless efforts. As she carefully arranged lettuces with hands that had weathered countless seasons, the stand became a reflection of her life's work. Camila, with a vibrant bunch of carrots in hand, approached her grandmother with a mix of determination and worry. When the announcement for the medical scholarship test arrived, it was a beacon of hope for Camila, who was torn between her academic aspirations and the financial realities of her family's situation. "I'm thinking of applying," she said, her voice tinged with a blend of hope and trepidation. Maria's face, marked by years of wisdom and resilience, lit up with a smile that conveyed more than words ever could. Her eyes, filled with unwavering support, spoke of a deep-seated belief in Camila's potential. "Of course you should apply. You've always been a brilliant student, and I do not doubt that you will excel. Remember, education is the most precious gift, one that no one can ever take from you. I want nothing more than a future where you shine brightly and achieve all that you dream of." As she spoke, Maria's hands continued to wipe the counter with a damp cloth, each stroke a symbol of her relentless dedication. "But how are your grades in school, my dear? Are you feeling confident?" Maria inquired, her tone laced with genuine concern. Camila, her hands gently placing the carrots into a basket, nodded with a determined expression, though her eyes revealed her anxiety. "I'm doing well academically, but I'm worried about us, Grandma. Sales have been slow lately, and I'm considering taking on a part-time job to help bring in more money." Maria, pausing in her task, looked at Camila with a serious, yet tender gaze. No, my precious one. Your focus must remain on your studies. This is a critical time for you, and I will handle the financial burden. You mustn't let anything distract you from your dreams. But Grandma, please don't overwork yourself, Camila implored, her voice filled with heartfelt concern. I can take on a part-time job and study at night. It might be manageable. Maria, with a look of unwavering resolve, took Camila's hands in her own. Listen to me, my dear. I have worked tirelessly since I was a child, often barefoot in the fields, enduring hardships that you can barely imagine. This vegetable stand, this life we have now, is a luxury compared to the struggles I've faced. I am more than capable of putting in a little extra effort. Your future is the most important thing, and I won't let anything stand in the way of your success. Camila, her eyes drifting to the customers who wandered past the stand, felt a surge of determination and gratitude. I want to do more, Grandma. I want you to be proud of me. Maria's smile, warm and enveloping, conveyed a love that transcended words. She squeezed Camila's hands with a reassuring grip. My dear, I am already incredibly proud of you. You are the embodiment of all my hopes and dreams. As a customer approached to compliment the fresh carrots, Maria attended to them with the same grace and dedication that had marked her entire life. Camila, reflecting on her grandmother's sacrifices and words of wisdom, felt a renewed sense of purpose. The depth of Maria's love and the immense sacrifices she had made fueled Camila's resolve to strive harder and embrace her future with unwavering determination. Once the customer departed, leaving the vegetable stand in a quieter state, Camila turned to her grandmother with a look of earnest determination. Grandma, she said, her voice brimming with both promise and hope, I swear I'm going to win that scholarship. I'll become a doctor and make sure we both have everything we need. You'll see. Maria's face softened into a loving smile, her eyes reflecting the depth of her belief. I have always believed in you, Camila. I always will. As the day gave way to dusk and the golden light of the setting sun cast long shadows, Maria and Camila worked side by side to close up the vegetable stand. The once bustling stand now stood in quiet repose, a testament to their shared labor and love. As Camila held the tarps with steady hands, the silence between them was palpable, filled with the unspoken weight of their shared history. Breaking this silence, Camila's voice, tinged with both curiosity and a hint of sadness, ventured into a delicate topic. Grandma, how did you manage everything on your own after Grandpa left us? Her question carried the weight of years of unspoken pain. Maria paused her work, her hands resting on the edge of the counter, as she looked at Camila with a deeply reflective gaze. It was one of the most challenging periods of my life, Camila. When your grandfather passed away, I was left to navigate life alone, with your mother still a small child. It was a relentless struggle, but I knew I had to remain strong, not just for myself, but primarily for her. Camila, continuing her task of arranging the tarps, slowed her movements, her thoughts lingering on the past. And when Mom and Dad, her voice faltered, and she hesitated. When they left us, I was so young. There are times I still hope they might come back. Her words were almost a whisper, laden with an enduring sadness. Maria, feeling the weight of her granddaughter's words, moved closer and placed a gentle, comforting hand on Camila's shoulder. I understand, my dear, Maria said softly, her voice trembling slightly with emotion. I mourn that loss every single day. You were so deeply connected to them, and even as a child, your resilience was remarkable. I have always been here to support you, to shield you from the hardships. Camila stopped her work completely and faced her grandmother, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. Grandma, sometimes I feel so alone without them, as if a part of me went away with them. But you have always been my rock, my safe harbor. I never had to worry about anything because you were always there. The strength in Camila's voice was palpable, a testament to her deep recognition of her grandmother's sacrifices. Maria, her heart heavy with emotion, felt a lump in her throat, struggling to hold back her tears. You are the reason I have persevered. Camila, Maria said, her voice thick with emotion. You brought light into my life during the darkest times. I vowed to do whatever it took to see you happy and fulfilled. That's why I want you to focus solely on your studies now and not worry about working." The neighboring stores had long since closed, leaving only the soft rustle of the tarps being folded to break the silence. Camila's voice, now firmer and filled with renewed resolve, broke through the quiet. "Grandma, I've always admired your strength and unwavering spirit. Even when everything seemed impossible, you never gave up. That inspires me to hold fast to my dreams of becoming a doctor." Maria's eyes, glistening with tears of pride, met Camila's with a loving gaze. "Your mother had that dream too, you know? She aspired to be a doctor. She would have been so incredibly proud to see you pursue that path, fulfilling the dreams she could not. Sometimes, when I see you study, I feel her presence, as if she's here with us, cheering you on." Camila, her voice choked with emotion, replied, "And I believe she is watching over us, feeling proud of all that you've achieved and all that you're striving for." The connection between them, woven through shared struggles and dreams, stood as a testament to their enduring bond and mutual support. Maria looked at Camila with a deep, unwavering conviction in her eyes. "And I'm certain she is too, my dear. As we wrap up our day here, I want you to understand how immensely proud I am of you. I always have been. You're making the dreams of our family come to life, one step at a time." The remainder of the afternoon was a celebration of their shared triumphs and future hopes. Maria busied herself preparing Camila's favorite dish, a heartfelt effort to mark the occasion. As the aroma of the meal filled the kitchen, the two of them talked animatedly about their dreams and the new opportunities that lay ahead. "We did it, Grandma. We did," Camila said, her voice imbued with a mixture of joy and gratitude, as they shared a moment of unadulterated happiness and optimism. Weeks later, Camila returned home after another demanding day at medical school. Her face, lit with the excitement and wonder of her new experiences, was a testament to the profound impact the first few weeks had had on her. Maria, ever observant and attuned to her granddaughter's moods, immediately noticed the radiance of Camila's joy. As she prepared dinner, chopping vegetables with practiced ease, she asked, "So, how is life at the university, Camila? Tell me everything about it." Camila, setting her backpack down with a satisfied sigh, began to recount her experiences with palpable enthusiasm. "Grandma, it's like stepping into another world. The buildings are massive and sleek. The libraries are filled with books I never knew existed, and everyone speaks so articulately and confidently. It's all so new and exhilarating." Maria, stirring the pot on the stove, listened with a warm smile. "And what about your classmates? How are you finding your place among them?" she inquired, her gaze reflecting genuine curiosity. Camila paused for a moment, carefully choosing her words. "Most of them come from very different backgrounds. Some drive brand new cars, wear designer clothes, and talk about their vacations abroad. At first, I felt like I didn't quite fit in, like I was out of place. But I'm working on adapting, learning from their experiences." Camila's tone shifted slightly as she mentioned Rodrigo, a classmate who had shown her kindness. "There's a guy, Rodrigo, who's been nice to me. He even gave me a ride to the university's restaurant the other day. He's one of the popular students, yet he makes an effort to include me in study groups and chat with me," she said, a glimmer of admiration evident in her eyes. Maria, her brow furrowed with concern, listened intently. "Be cautious, Camila. Sometimes, those from wealthy backgrounds can have unclear intentions, especially with someone as bright and attractive as you." Camila's initial reaction was a mix of irritation and surprise. "Grandma, I think you're being a bit unfair. Rodrigo is just a friend. He treats me well, and I know how to handle myself," she responded, her voice reflecting her defensiveness and disbelief. Maria's expression softened, but her concern remained evident. "I just want to make sure you're careful. It's important to navigate these new relationships with awareness. Your well-being is what matters most to me." Camila nodded, appreciating her grandmother's protective instincts even as she sought to reassure her. The conversation, while tinged with underlying tension, underscored the deep bond and mutual respect between them. "It's quite something to be told you're not allowed to make your own choices," Camila said, her voice tinged with a firmness she rarely exhibited. "I'm at college now, no longer a child. I need to forge my friendships and immerse myself in new experiences." Maria, keenly aware of the discomfort in Camila's tone, sighed deeply, her mind racing to find the right words. "I get it, Camila," Maria said softly, stirring the sauce on the stove with a sense of resignation. "I don't mean to belittle you or your growing independence. My concern comes from a place of deep affection. As your grandmother, it's my role to worry about you. Life is full of challenges and pitfalls, and I just want you to be aware of them so you don't end up getting hurt." Her voice held a blend of concern and care, a reflection of her lifelong protective instincts. Camila took a steadying breath, her frustration bubbling just beneath the surface. "I understand that you care, Grandma, and I truly appreciate it. But I also need the space to navigate life on my own, to make my own decisions. College is offering me opportunities to explore a whole new world, and I want to seize those chances," she said, striving to communicate her need for independence on a calm evening. Later, as they sat in the living room surrounded by the cozy comfort of their home, Maria brought up a matter of importance. "I need you to help out at the stand next Saturday," she said, her tone carrying a quiet seriousness. "I'll be spending the day at the church for a special occasion with the community." Camila, who had been absorbed in her college studies, looked up with visible irritation. "Saturday, Grandma? I had plans. I was hoping to spend time with some friends from college. I need to make the most of my free time," she replied, her voice weary and tinged with disappointment. Maria felt a pang of anxiety, her concern manifesting in her gentle but firm response. "I understand you're busy, and I know how much you value your social life. But please remember, these are the only days I ask for your help at the stand. It's crucial for us, and my commitment to the church is something deeply sacred to me. You know how important it is to both of us?" she said, her words imbued with a mix of sadness and resolve. Camila sighed deeply, her face a portrait of internal conflict. "I get it, Grandma, and I know the stand is important, but I also need time to experience life as a college student. I'm starting to embrace a different phase of my life, and I need to balance my responsibilities with my personal growth." Maria's gaze was filled with a blend of sadness and understanding. "I see where you're coming from, Camila. It's hard for me to let go, but I also want you to be happy and fulfilled. I hope you understand that my requests come from a place of love and a desire to maintain our family's well-being." The conversation left both women in a state of contemplative silence, reflecting the complex balance between familial obligations and personal growth. "Camila, since you began college, I've sensed a significant shift in our relationship," Maria said, her voice trembling with emotion. "You've always been such a devoted and warm presence in my life. It's hard for me to see you evolving and distancing yourself. I feel like I'm losing the little girl who used to be my constant companion. It's like you're drifting away from me, and it hurts." Camila, visibly frustrated by the conversation, responded with a sharpness she hadn't intended. "Grandma, I'm growing up. Change is a natural part of life. I can't remain in this cycle of poverty forever. I had plans for Saturday, plans to spend time with Rodrigo. But if it's so important to you, I'll cancel those plans and stay at the stand." Her words were laced with frustration and a sense of discontent, emotions Maria hadn't seen in her granddaughter before. In an attempt to diffuse the growing tension, Maria sought to shift the focus of their conversation. "I've noticed Rodrigo seems to be a significant part of your life lately. Are you two becoming more than just friends?" Maria inquired, her voice tinged with concern despite her efforts to mask it. Camila's response was swift and defensive. "No, Grandma, it's nothing like that. Rodrigo is simply a friend. You're reading too much into things and trying to impose limitations where there are none. I need to experience life beyond our neighborhood, and I wish you could understand that," Camila said, her frustration palpable. Maria was taken aback by the intensity of her granddaughter's words, feeling a sting of hurt and surprise. I worry about you, Camila. I've always been there for you, supporting you and caring for you since you were a child. My intentions were never to confine you, but to ensure your happiness and safety. Maria's voice quivered with a mixture of sadness and disbelief at hearing such harsh words from someone she loved so dearly. The palpable tension between them signaled a shift in their relationship, one that would undoubtedly face new and challenging dynamics. Later that Saturday, Maria found solace in the local church kitchen, surrounded by friends who shared her commitment to community service. The kitchen buzzed with the comforting aromas of spices and the lively chatter of volunteers, each conversation reflecting the shared joy of making a difference. I'm truly grateful for the impact our small project is having, Maria said, her hands deftly chopping vegetables with practiced ease. It's heartwarming to see how much difference we're making for so many people. It is, agreed one of the volunteers. Every Saturday, more faces come through, each with their own story. It's incredibly rewarding to know we're helping to ease their burdens, even if just a little. As the conversation flowed with warmth and camaraderie, the atmosphere was suddenly disrupted by the entrance of Dona Ana, a neighbor and friend of Maria. Anna's agitation was evident as she stormed into the kitchen, her demeanor interrupting the otherwise serene environment. Maria's hands shook as she held her cell phone to her ear, the ringing tones seeming to stretch into eternity. The moments felt like hours as she anxiously waited for Camila to answer. Finally, the line connected, and Maria heard her granddaughter's voice, though it was tinged with distress and exhaustion. "Grandma!" Camila's voice cracked with emotion. "Camila, where are you? Are you okay? What happened?" Maria's voice was strained, filled with a mix of relief and worry. I'm okay, Grandma. I'm just a little shaken up," Camila replied, her voice wavering. "I was at the stand when the men showed up. They were wearing helmets and masks. I tried to stay hidden, but they broke into the cash register and threw everything around. I was scared and hid behind some boxes until they left." Maria's heart sank with every word Camila spoke. "I'm on my way to the stand right now. Please stay on the line with me. I need to know you're safe." "I'm at a nearby cafe," Camila said, her voice softening as she took deep breaths. "I managed to get away without them noticing me after they left. I didn't know what to do, so I went to the cafe to call the police." As Maria listened, she felt a wave of relief mixed with profound sadness. Her gaze swept over the scene of the stand, now a chaotic mess. The once orderly space was now a shambles, a stark reminder of the harshness of the world outside their little bubble. "I'm coming to get you now," Maria said firmly, her voice steady despite the trembling in her hands. "Just stay where you are. I'm on my way." With the call ended, Maria looked at Dona Ana, who had been a steady presence beside her. "Camila's safe. She's at a cafe nearby, and she's called the police. We need to make sure the authorities arrive quickly and take care of this mess." Dona Ana nodded, her face reflecting the gravity of the situation. "Let's get the police here and then go to Camila. She needs you now more than ever." As Maria and Dona Ana worked to get the police involved, the community began to rally around them. The news of the robbery spread quickly, and soon, residents were offering support, sharing their concern and solidarity. The sense of community was palpable, with people expressing their willingness to help in any way they could. Maria's heart was heavy as she made her way to the cafe where Camila was waiting. The street seemed to stretch endlessly, each step weighted with worry. When she finally arrived, she saw Camila sitting at a table near the window, her face drawn and pale but visibly relieved to see her grandmother. Maria rushed to her granddaughter, enveloping her in a tight embrace. "Oh, Camila, I was so worried. I'm just glad you're okay." "I'm fine, Grandma," Camila whispered, clinging to Maria. "I was scared, but I'm okay now. I'm so sorry about the stand. I know how much it means to us." Maria pulled back slightly, looking into Camila's eyes with a mix of sorrow and pride. "It's not your fault, my dear. I'm just glad you're safe. We'll deal with the stand later. Right now, we need to focus on you and make sure you're all right." The police arrived soon after, taking statements and gathering evidence. As they worked, Maria and Camila sat together in the cafe, holding hands and sharing their thoughts. Despite the ordeal, there was a shared sense of resilience between them. They knew that their bond was stronger than any adversity they faced. "I'm sorry for how I reacted earlier, Grandma," Camila said, her voice filled with remorse. "I've been so focused on my own life and plans that I didn't realize how much I was hurting you. I should have been more considerate." Maria squeezed her granddaughter's hand, her eyes softening. "I understand, Camila. It's natural to grow and change, but I just wanted you to remember where you came from and how much you mean to me. We both need to learn to balance our desires and responsibilities." Camila nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. "We'll figure it out together, Grandma. I promise to be more mindful and to support you just as you've supported me." The police continued their work, and as the night deepened, Maria and Camila left the cafe together, feeling a renewed sense of unity. Despite the night's challenges, their bond had grown even stronger, a testament to their shared resilience and love. In the days that followed, the community rallied around Maria and Camila, helping them rebuild the stand and offering support in various ways. The robbery, though a painful setback, became a catalyst for deeper connections and a reminder of the strength they found in each other and their community. As they resumed their lives, Maria and Camila faced each new day with a strengthened resolve, their relationship renewed by the trials they had endured together. They knew that whatever came their way, they would face it as a family, bound by love and the shared dream of a brighter future. Maria's heart pounded as she struggled to process Camila's call, the sting of her granddaughter's words cutting deep. The stand was in ruins, the result of a brazen robbery that had left their livelihood in tatters. Maria's mind was racing, trying to reconcile the chaos before her with the cold detachment of Camila's voice. She was still trying to make sense of the situation when she noticed her own body beginning to betray her. The pressure in her chest grew unbearable, her breathing shallow and labored. She leaned heavily against the cluttered counter, her vision blurring as she struggled to stay upright. "Anna, I don't feel well," Maria said, her voice shaky. "My blood pressure is high. I always had to watch out for that. And now with everything that's happened, I don't know if I can take it." Anna, who had been a steady presence during the chaos, immediately noticed Maria's distress. Her face turned pale with concern as she rushed to Maria's side. "Maria, you need to sit down. Let me call for help. You're in no condition to be here right now." Anna quickly pulled out her phone and dialed emergency services, her hands trembling slightly as she spoke. Maria slumped onto a nearby stool, her mind still reeling from the recent events and Camila's harsh words. As she waited for help to arrive, Anna stayed by Maria's side, offering comfort and trying to calm her. "You've been through so much today," Anna said gently. "Try to breathe slowly. Help is on the way." Maria nodded weakly, trying to focus on her breathing despite the whirlwind of emotions and physical discomfort. The thought of Camila's indifference and the state of the stand weighed heavily on her, adding to the stress she was already feeling. When the paramedics arrived, they quickly assessed Maria's condition and provided the necessary care to stabilize her. They took her vitals and administered medication to help lower her blood pressure. As Maria was helped into the ambulance, she felt a wave of exhaustion and relief wash over her. Anna, still by her side, promised to keep an eye on the stand and coordinate with the authorities. Maria was transported to the hospital, where she received further treatment and monitoring. The medical staff reassured her that with proper care, her condition could be managed. Despite their efforts, Maria couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal and sadness that had settled in her heart. In the following days, as Maria recovered in the hospital, she had time to reflect on the events and the changes in her relationship with Camila. The realization that her granddaughter, whom she had always seen as a close companion and confidant, had distanced herself in such a critical moment was deeply painful. Camila eventually visited Maria in the hospital, her demeanor now subdued and remorseful. She had seen the extent of the robbery's impact on the stand and the strain it had put on her grandmother. The encounter was emotional and difficult. "Grandma, I'm so sorry for how I acted," Camila said, her voice trembling. "I was caught up in my world and didn't see how important this was to you. I should have been there for you." Maria looked at her granddaughter, her eyes tired but filled with a mixture of sadness and forgiveness. Camila, it's not just about the stand or the robbery. It's about trust and support. You've always been such a big part of my life, and I just needed you to be there for me, especially during this crisis. Camila nodded, tears in her eyes. I understand now, Grandma. I'll do everything I can to make it right. I'll help with the stand and be there for you from now on. As Maria and Camila began to mend their relationship, they faced the challenges ahead with a renewed sense of commitment to each other. The robbery and the subsequent emotional strain had tested their bond, but it also catalyzed deeper understanding and reconciliation. The community, still reeling from the robbery, rallied around Maria and Camila, offering support and helping to rebuild the stand. Through the process, Maria and Camila found strength in their shared experiences and a renewed appreciation for the importance of family and community. As they worked to recover from the setbacks and move forward, Maria and Camila's relationship grew stronger, grounded in a deeper understanding of each other's needs and a commitment to facing the future together. The trials they faced became a testament to their resilience and the enduring strength of their bond. Donna Anna, her face etched with concern, gently took Maria's arm, trying to provide some grounding amid the chaos. You need to calm down, Maria. Let's sit for a moment. You can't let this overwhelm you so much, Anna said, guiding her friend to a nearby chair. Maria, her eyes brimming with tears, glanced around at the wreckage of her stand, feeling the weight of the situation pressing heavily upon her shoulders. I dedicated my life to this stand, to Camila, Maria said, her voice cracking under the strain of her emotions. And now look what's happened. My granddaughter, whom I raised with so much love and care, treats me like this. I never imagined in my worst nightmares that she would act this way towards me. Anna, ever the steadfast friend, responded with a mix of firmness and empathy. You've always been a strong woman, Maria, but even the strongest among us need to rest. You can't be a superhero all the time. She took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. With all due respect, Maria, Camila needs to know what happened. You've given her so much, opportunities that many young people don't have. She's studying without worrying about work because of you. And now, when she finally gets to college, she's acting like this. It's not right. To me, she seems very ungrateful, and she needs to understand the impact of her actions. Maria sighed deeply, her eyes reflecting her inner turmoil. I know, Anna, I know. But young people often get lost in their new experiences and people. I don't want to scare Camila or push her away. I don't want her to feel like she's responsible for this mess. But Maria, Anna insisted, her voice filled with conviction. She needs to understand the consequences of her actions. She needs to see that her behavior affects others, especially you who have always supported her. You can't shield her from everything. Sometimes, facing the truth is necessary for growth. Maria gazed out the window, watching the gray clouds drift by. Maybe you're right, Anna. I just need some time to think. I don't want to create more distance between us. I'll try to understand what happened better when I'm at home and feeling stronger. Her voice wavered, revealing the internal struggle between her desire to protect her granddaughter and the need to confront her with the reality of her actions. Anna nodded, her understanding evident. I'll be here for you, Maria. No matter what you decide, you won't be alone. Rest now. The doctor said you might be able to go home soon. The two women fell into a thoughtful silence, each lost in their reflections. On Monday, back home and feeling somewhat recovered, Maria resolved to have a crucial conversation with Camila before she left for university. She approached Camila's room and knocked gently on the door before opening it. Camila was busy getting ready for the day, her focus on her morning routine. Camila, my daughter, we need to talk about what happened on Saturday. Maria began, her voice trembling with the weight of her emotions. I need to understand what's going on with you. You never acted like this before. We've always been partners. I always thought I could count on you. Her eyes filled with tears as she continued. Leaving the stand like that wasn't just about the money. It's about consideration for me. I was so scared for you. I thought something terrible had happened. Camila looked up from her preparations, her expression shifting from surprise to unease. She could see the pain etched on her grandmother's face, and the gravity of the situation began to sink in. "Grandma, I didn't realize it would hurt you so much. I was just caught up in my plans and excitement. I should have been more responsible." Maria took a deep breath, trying to keep her composure. "Camila, I understand that you're growing up and wanting to experience new things, but the way you handled this situation hurt me deeply. I've always been here for you, and I just needed you to be there for me when it mattered most. It's not just about the stand. It's about us, our trust, and our relationship." Camila's eyes filled with remorse as she listened to her grandmother's heartfelt words. "I'm sorry, Grandma. I should have been there for you. I see now how my actions affected you, and I promise to be more mindful in the future." Maria reached out and gently took Camila's hand, her voice softening. "We'll work through this together. I just want us to understand each other better and to continue supporting one another. We're a family, and that means facing challenges together." Camila nodded, her expression sincere. "I want that too, Grandma. I'll do my best to make things right and to be more present for you. Thank you for giving me a chance to make amends." As they talked, a sense of healing began to emerge, both acknowledging the pain and working towards a renewed understanding. The road to reconciliation would take time, but Maria and Camila were committed to rebuilding their bond, strengthened by their shared commitment to each other and their family. Maria took a deep breath, struggling to hold back her tears. "Your grandmother is old too, Camila. I need to take care of myself. What happened on Saturday affected me deeply," she said, her voice breaking as tears streamed down her cheeks. Camila, still finishing her preparations for university, responded with a noticeable impatience. "Grandma, I'm already late for class. I don't have time for these dramas right now." She turned to face Maria, her expression marked by irritation. "And now that I'm with Rodrigo, he's showing me a new world. A world where not everything is about suffering like in our lives, but where there's fun, dining out, and living life. I don't want to keep being embarrassed working at a vegetable stand. I'm mingling with high-level people now and need to adapt to that world," Camila said, her tone carrying an edge that Maria had never heard before. "Don't you get it, Grandma? Things have changed for me. I'm living a new life now." Maria's heart ached as she absorbed Camila's words. The granddaughter she had cherished and nurtured was evolving into someone she struggled to recognize. "Camila, you've always been enough, no matter what work we did to make a living. It's not the job that defines our worth. It's the love, respect, and consideration we have for each other. Working at the stand was never something to be ashamed of. It was our means of living, the way I found to secure your future and provide you with an education," Maria said, her voice laden with emotion. Trying to understand Camila's new world, Maria cautiously broached the subject of Rodrigo. "Camila, is Rodrigo a good man? Does he have good intentions with you? I can't shake the feeling that he might be manipulating you," she said, hoping for reassurance about her granddaughter's new boyfriend. Camila, however, responded with clear irritation. "Of course, he's a good guy, Grandma. He's from a different world compared to ours. Educated, speaks several languages, has traveled all over. He treats me well. He just wants me to live well like he does with him." Maria felt a pang of sadness as she listened to Camila's words. Despite her efforts to remain calm, the sting of her granddaughter's new perspective was palpable. "Camila, life still has many lessons to teach you. Not everything that glitters is gold. Remember that I only wish the best for you," Maria said, her voice soft but firm. Maria took a deep breath, tears welling in her eyes. "I want nothing but the best for you, Camila, and I want you to be happy. But don't forget where we come from. Only family and God will truly be there for you in tough times. You're young and beautiful now, but remember what your grandfather did to me," she said, her voice cracking with emotion. "I worked my whole life under the sun, and despite being abandoned by your grandfather for a younger woman, I opened this stall and worked hard to pay for your education so you could become a doctor. There is no shame in that." Maria's words were a heartfelt plea for Camila to remember her roots and values. As she spoke, Maria gently reached for Camila's lab coat, intending to fold it with care. But Camila, with a swift and brusque movement, snatched the coat from Maria's hands. "Let go, Grandma. You're going to dirty it," she said with a disdainful expression. Maria, shocked and hurt by Camila's action, took a step back. Camila's frustration was palpable as she raised her voice. "I'm tired of these lectures. I'm old enough to manage my own life. You need to leave me alone. Rodrigo keeps telling me that I wasn't born for this life, that I'm meant for something greater. He's offered me this new lifestyle before, and now it's clear. I'm moving in with Rodrigo while we finish college. I don't want you worrying about spending money on me or wasting your breath on these lectures." Camila's words were sharp and cutting, creating a chasm between them. Maria, feeling the growing distance, looked at her granddaughter with a mix of sadness and resignation. "I only want the best for you, Camila. But if this is how you want it, I'll respect your decision." Maria slowly stood up, her tired and dejected figure contrasting with Camila's determined energy. "I'll always be here for you, my daughter. Please, at least call me from time to time to let me know how you're doing." With those words, Maria left the room, leaving Camila to prepare her bags. In the years that followed, Maria grappled with a profound sense of loneliness and sorrow. Her nights were filled with reflection and intimate conversations with God, seeking solace for the void left by Camila. Her days were spent managing the stall and cherishing the support of friends in the community who had become her lifeline. One particularly somber afternoon, as Maria shared coffee with Dona Ana, the conversation inevitably turned to Camila. Dona Ana, ever concerned, asked gently, "And Camila? How is she?" Maria sighed, her gaze fixed on her coffee cup. "Camila, I feel that Rodrigo has brainwashed her. We talk on the phone occasionally, but she rarely visits. I sense that my Camila is still somewhere inside her, but she's being suffocated by this manipulative man." Maria's voice trembled with pain and frustration. "He's convinced her that her past and our life are things to be ashamed of. She's so desperate to fit into this new world. He's presented to her that she's exposing herself to harmful influences." Maria shook her head slowly, her face etched with deep sadness. Dona Ana placed a comforting hand on Maria's. "Maria, you did everything you could for Camila. You gave her love, education, and a home. You can't blame yourself for the choices she's making now." Dona Ana's voice was firm but filled with tenderness. Maria looked at Dona Ana, her eyes reflecting the anguish of a mother feeling powerless. "I will always love and support her, no matter what, but I can't deny that this has been a tremendous disappointment. I never imagined our relationship would reach this point. Sometimes life takes us down unexpected paths." Dona Ana nodded thoughtfully. "And maybe, in time, Camila will come to understand what truly matters, the love of family and true values. Don't lose hope, Maria. People can change, and perhaps Camila will find her way back to you." Maria nodded, finding solace in Dona Ana's words. "I talk to God about this every day. I pray that Camila will see the light again and look beyond the illusions Rodrigo has planted in her mind." With faith and the support of her friends, Maria remained steadfast, hoping for a future reconciliation. On a quiet afternoon, Maria's phone rang. On the other end of the line was Camila, her voice trembling with desperation. "Grandma, can I come back home?" she asked, sobbing uncontrollably. Maria's heart swelled with a mix of relief and apprehension. "Of course, my daughter. You can always come home," she replied, her voice gentle yet firm. When Camila arrived, dragging her bags behind her, Maria went to meet her. She saw the deep sadness in her granddaughter's eyes, the expression of someone who had been profoundly hurt. "What happened, Camila? Why are you crying like this?" Maria asked, her voice full of concern. Without responding, Camila fell at Maria's bare feet, clinging to her ankles, sobbing uncontrollably. "Grandma, please forgive me for everything, for all the harm I caused, for all the pain I made you go through. I regret it so much and for so long, but I couldn't get out of that situation. I was trapped, Grandma, trapped in a world that wasn't mine." Camila cried, her words coming out between sobs. With tears in her own eyes, Maria bent down and lifted Camila, hugging her tightly. "I know, my daughter, I know. And of course, I forgive you. But you need to understand how much you hurt me, how much I suffered." Maria spoke with a trembling voice but full of love. "I've already lost your mother, Camila. What you did to me was unbearable. That's not something you do even to a dog." Camila, still clinging to her grandmother, continued to cry, her tears soaking Maria's blouse. "I know, Grandma, I know. I was blind to a world I thought I wanted. But it was all an illusion. I miss you so much. Miss our life together." Her words were a sea of regret and pain. "Will you find a place in your heart to truly forgive me, Grandma?" Camila asked, her eyes searching for some form of redemption. Maria, with a look of compassion and wisdom, responded, "I will welcome you back, Camila, and I will find a place in my heart to forgive you because that is what God has taught me. But you need to remember how much suffering you caused me." The two remained embraced for a long time, their silence punctuated only by Camila's sobs. Maria knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges, with scars to heal and trust to rebuild. Sitting together in the living room, Maria and Camila finally found space for a calmer, deeper conversation. Camila, her eyes red from crying, hesitated before sharing more news. "Grandma, I'm pregnant," she revealed in a low voice, almost a whisper. Maria, taken aback, waited in silence for Camila to continue. "When I told Rodrigo and his family, they wanted me to abort the baby. They said a child would hinder his future," Camila said, her voice breaking with pain and disillusionment. Maria approached Camila and embraced her tightly. "We will take care of that life growing inside you, my daughter. You're about to finish college. You don't need those soulless vampires. They will get what they deserve, each in their own time." Camila broke down in tears again, sobbing in Maria's arms. "I don't deserve you to be so understanding with me, Grandma, after everything I did." Maria, holding Camila's face in her hands, looked into her granddaughter's eyes with a mix of love and firmness. "Now, I'm not only being understanding with you but also with my great-grandchild, the child of my beloved daughter who is in your womb." Maria's words offered a new perspective to Camila, helping her see the depth of her grandmother's love. "I'm going to be a mother, Grandma, and I'm so scared," Camila confessed, her voice trembling. Maria hugged her again, offering the comfort only a mother knows how to give. "You won't be alone on this journey, Camila. I will be here with you every step of the way." Hours passed as they talked, Maria sharing her wisdom and experience while Camila listened attentively, absorbing every word. It was a moment of learning, healing, and strengthening their bond. "You will be an amazing mother, Camila, and that baby will have the love of both of us," Maria said, her eyes shining with tears and hope. Camila, now feeling a glimmer of hope, looked at Maria with new respect and admiration. "I want to be a good mother, Grandma. I want to be like you have been to me, and I hope I can make up for everything." Maria, with a compassionate smile, replied, "We will work together to make that happen. Remember that love and forgiveness can heal even the deepest wounds." Understanding her grandmother's discomfort, Camila gently suggested with a warm smile, "Then you'd prefer to go without shoes? I want you to be comfortable, Grandma. This day is as much yours as it is mine. I will be by your side regardless of what others might think." Maria was deeply moved by Camila's offer and the sincerity reflected in her eyes. "You really wouldn't mind going to an event like this without shoes?" Maria asked, still hesitant. Camila's willingness to support her filled Maria's heart with gratitude. Camila took Maria's hand, her grip firm yet reassuring. "Grandma, the most important thing today is that we are together celebrating this moment. What others think doesn't matter. What matters is the love and support we have for each other." As they entered the graduation party hand in hand, their presence drew noticeable attention. The judgmental gazes were particularly directed at Maria, who was barefoot, a symbol of her humble roots and the simplicity of her life. Observing the stares and whispers, Camila stopped momentarily. In a bold gesture of solidarity and love, she removed her shoes, standing proudly alongside her grandmother and defying societal norms and expectations. During the ceremony, Camila was invited to give a speech. With her eyes fixed on Maria, she began, "This speech is for my grandmother, the woman who raised me and is the true warrior of this story." Her voice trembled with emotion as she recounted her grandmother's journey, from raising her mother alone to providing a better future for Camila. "It is with immense pride that I say it was the money from my grandmother's vegetable stand that allowed me to graduate in medicine today," Camila continued, her voice steady despite the tears. "Even when I made mistakes, influenced by terrible people, my grandmother welcomed me back, along with my son," she said, placing her hand on her belly. Camila then turned her gaze to the university director. "I believe some people here do not deserve this diploma." She paused, locking eyes with Rodrigo. "I lived with Rodrigo for years, and he constantly tried to belittle my achievements. I kept evidence of him cheating on all exams from the start of the course and paying to have his final project done for him. I have already submitted a formal complaint and evidence to his secretary, Mr. Director." The room fell into a stunned silence as all eyes turned to Rodrigo. Several students from the class stood up, confirming Camila's accusations. The director, visibly shocked by the revelations, instructed that Rodrigo be removed from the venue. As Rodrigo was escorted out, he began shouting insults, his anger mostly directed at Maria. Maria, who had been watching the unfolding scene with a mix of surprise and pride at her granddaughter's bravery, remained calm and composed. With the strength and dignity born from a life of struggles and achievements, Maria walked barefoot towards Rodrigo. She picked up a drink from a nearby table and, with a determined motion, threw it in his face. "You will never be the father of my great-grandchild," she declared, "and God will return all the suffering you have caused others." As Rodrigo was led away, the room erupted in a mixture of applause and murmurs, reflecting the dramatic turn of events. Maria and Camila stood together, their bond strengthened by the day's events, united in their triumph and their resilience. Camila rushed to her grandmother's side, her voice filled with fiery conviction. "Not all the money in the world can buy the dignity my grandmother has, something you and your family will never possess. And don't think that over these years I haven't discovered where all your family's wealth comes from. Corruption schemes and illegal sales. Everything I've witnessed, the police will know," she declared, defending Maria with a fierce resolve as the guards escorted Rodrigo out, his mouth now shut by Camila's words and Maria's unwavering stance. The room burst into applause, not only for the justice that had been served, but also for the recognition of Maria's strength and character. That evening became a celebration not just of Camila's graduation, but of the triumph of truth, integrity, and unconditional love. Surrounded by admirers who respected her for her resilience, Maria felt an overwhelming pride in Camila. Embracing her grandmother, Camila was free from the shadows of the past, knowing they were stronger together. In the years that followed, Maria and Camila's lives blossomed into a journey of joy and success. Camila, now a devoted mother and a respected cardiac surgeon, chose her specialization inspired by her grandmother's strength. Her son, a cheerful and affectionate child, formed a special bond with Maria, filling their home with laughter and happiness. Maria, in a new chapter of her life, experienced peace and contentment, cherishing every moment with her family. During the housewarming party for the new home Camila bought for Maria, the atmosphere was one of celebration and gratitude. Camila and Maria had the pleasure of reconnecting with Dona Ana, Maria's longtime friend. "Ana, I can never thank you enough for everything you did for my grandmother, for standing by her side when I couldn't," Camila said, her voice choked with emotion. She then revealed a heartfelt surprise. "I want you and your family to take over the vegetable stand. It has been closed since I decided to retire my grandmother, and I can't think of anyone better to continue its legacy. I'll cover the costs for the renovation." Dona Ana, visibly moved, embraced Maria and Camila with gratitude. "I don't know how to express my thanks, Camila. This is an incredible gift. I will care for the stand with all my heart and dedication." The conversation turned to past events, and Dona Ana shared recent news. Maria, did you know that Rodrigo's entire family was arrested thanks to Camila's report? Maria's eyes sparkled with pride as she nodded. I always knew Camila had a good heart. She was bound to find her way back. She's strong, brave, and, above all, a person of integrity. Maria then looked at Camila with a tender smile. I'm sure your mother is watching us from above, proud of the woman you've become, and how you're raising your son with such respect and humility. As the party continued, Maria sat quietly, observing the joyful celebration of her family and friends. She felt a profound peace, a deep sense of fulfillment and gratitude. Her life, shaped by countless challenges and struggles, had become a testament to the power of resilience, love, and unwavering faith. Thank you for joining us on this deeply moving journey through Maria and Camila's story. From the triumph of love and forgiveness to the celebration of truth and integrity, we've witnessed a powerful testament to the strength of family bonds and the courage to stand up for what's right. So, what have you learned from Maria and Camila's experiences? How can these lessons inspire or impact your own life? We'd love to hear from you. Please take a moment to comment below and share one thing you've learned from this story and how you plan to put it into practice in your own life. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more inspiring content. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue bringing you meaningful stories and valuable insights. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.